Hello? Hello?
Podcast Network Asia.
Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. Now exclusively on Spotify, powered by Anchor. And if you are new here on the podcast, then welcome to the show. I hope that you enjoy this podcast episode. And if you are an avid listener of the podcast, then welcome back. My name is Alec Cuenca and I am your host, and I am welcoming you again to another episode of Small Talk, where we basically talk about all, success, personal development, productivity, spirituality, and everything in between. And I'm just super duper excited to finally be back again here creating episodes for you guys. And for today's episode, I am going to talk to you about the 3 ways where you can hack your life. Right? So a lot of people are looking at hacks, and I've been in the personal development industry for at least 3 years now, and I could say that I have read and watched a lot of different methods for us to basically expand ourselves. I've been heavy into just learning more on how can we expand ourselves, expand our consciousness, expand our awareness, but more importantly, become better so that we can make better decisions for ourselves and for the people around us. And there's a lot of things out there, and they're all effective. Again, nothing right, nothing wrong. Nothing's the best one. Nothing's like the worst advice. However, I came upon this concept that not just helped me in terms of my personal development, but really helped me transform my life. Okay. And I maybe you have heard it from the other episodes. So I've been in the personal development space for quite some time now. However, it's still kind of rocky, I could say, my progress in life. Sometimes I'm so up here. Sometimes I'm getting so low. And when I get back up and I fall down again. And it's kind of the same, really, inconsistent in a way. I experience the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, which is kind of tiring, right? I don't want to go into a phase in my life where I'm still like super volatile in terms of my growth and my development. Sometimes I'm really pumped up, sometimes I'm not. So I just kept on looking for answers. And I attended one personal mastery course, and it's called Discovery. And what I learned there is this concept that I'm going to share with you that allowed me to transform my life every single day. No, and what I like about this, after I applied this lesson, it's more of a steady growth. Nothing grand, nothing extra, nothing volatile, but it's exponentially helping me to become better every single day. Because of this, I was able to hack, my state for a lot of times. And having an awareness around this can really also change your life. So hopefully, you resonate with something in this episode and you write it down. But basically, the concept that I learned is, or came from Vishen Lakiani. And Vishen said, that the concept I basically learned can be told or can be explained in one sentence, in one paragraph, right? So what Vishen Lakiani said is hack your past with forgiveness, hack your present with mindfulness, and hack your future with I am enough. And so these 3 hacks is easily the only hack that you need to have right now for you to really grow exponentially. So let's try to deep dive into that a little bit, right? Because the first thing that he said is hack your past with forgiveness. And in any kind of growth, healing is an important prerequisite to it. So you can't really grow. No, you can only grow as to how much you have already healed. So you cannot grow if you are not willing to heal the past or the things that have happened in your past or your past mistakes. Because our brains, they're really good memory kind of replays, right? They keep on replaying bad things that happened from the past. A lot of us are stuck thinking about the past, living a life with regret. And if you are living a life of regret, chances are most of the time you are unhappy. And so one way to battle that is to hack your past with forgiveness. And so you got to realize that as you grow older, you get to experience a lot of traumatic moments in your lives, whether it's huge and major traumas or minor traumas, or I call them mini traumas, that kind of instill you a lot of limiting beliefs that will stop you from letting you live an abundant life or a life that you truly deserve. So you gotta be able to look differently at the way that you look at your past. Because your past, it's never going to change. It's there. You cannot change the past. That's a fact, right? Whatever I said earlier from this podcast, I cannot take that back. I can't change that anymore. And if I said something wrong, for example, I stuttered or I made a wrong grammar or something like that, I can't really change that. And so learning that, and that's just a minor mistake. How about the big ones, right? And one of the things that I really want to share with you, and I'm going to be vulnerable here with you guys, is that I made a lot of bad financial decisions in the last year. And even though I was out there and I was creating videos and I was, posting TikTok every single day, at the moment that the camera turns off and no one is looking, I was actually depressed. I experienced a lot of panic attacks. I was anxious. I didn't want to go out and talk to people. I remember, before I came here to Manila, I was in a really dark place. And even though I was showing up online, I was just really unhappy with my life because I kept on beating myself up for the mistakes that I did. And, when it comes to money has been a great deal for me. I didn't grow up with much. And when I finally got the chance to earn a lot of money, I kind of wasted them. So I kept on beating myself for that reason. And when I attended Discovery, I came there trying to learn how can I become great? How can I unlock my greatness? How can I be a limitless human being? But I went out there learning how to forgive myself. And so I realized that if you don't know how to forgive yourself, it doesn't matter what results you get. You're always going to hit that point when something triggers you and it will pull you down. It will slow you down. And even though you get your goals, it will be a hollow pursuit because there's still a lot of heaviness in your heart. So understanding that in any kind of growth, in any kind of success, you need to hack your forgiveness. You need to learn how to forgive two people. Okay, first one is really other people. Forgiving other people for what they did, right? And forgiveness means, you don't really go to them and talk to them that I forgive you, even though you don't apologize. A lot of people may be asking, well, he did not apologize to me, so why should I forgive? Now, what I learned is that forgiveness is something that you give. It's not something that it's just something that you freely give away. Okay? And I know it's hard. For some people, it may take time to forgive, and that's okay, at your own pace. But that's the end goal. It's for us to really release that negative emotions, that negative energy, the negative feelings inside you have in your body, and release that so that you can become lighter in whatever task you're trying to pursue. And so when I learned to forgive others, I, came to a point that I realized that it wasn't really about me, that they hurt me or they did something bad to me. It's just that they're hurting as well. They don't know what they needed to do. They don't know how to deal with whatever situation that they were given. And so coming up from a place of compassion that, man, that person's fucked up and it has nothing to do with me. That person is fucked up. It's he or she has a lot of problems, and learning that it was just passed on to him and her, and she didn't really, or that person didn't really intend to hurt you, can really allow you to move into a space of forgiveness. And when I learned to forgive other people for what they did, it became lighter, right? Of course, it still hurts. And sometimes it gotta hurt so that you get reminded that you never do it again. But, if you're beating yourself up, if you're always putting yourself in a down position, then it's not really benefiting you anymore. And so that's the moment where you need to let it go, when you need to release it. And so how do you hack forgiveness? How do you do forgiveness? It's as easy as speaking it out or writing it down or doing something, as long as you're releasing it energetically. Forgiveness is something that you need to release energetically. So may it be saying out loud, I forgive you. Or it can be writing it down and then crumpling the paper, right? One thing that I did before because of the people that hurt me is I wrote down like all of the things that I want to say to this person, and then I burned it. It was me releasing that energy stored inside my heart that I'm choosing to let it go now. And when I chose to let it go, it became lighter. It was really, I came from a place of compassion and love, and I didn't realize that I was capable of that. So seeing that side of me that I can also forgive and take the high road and be the person how, Jesus. I'm a Christian, I'm just putting it out there. If you're not a Christian, I totally respect you. But for me, I'm a believer that, we are made in the likeness of Him. And my God is a forgiving God. And also that's how I need to be, or that I should also forgive, right? And the moment that I forgave that other person, it's me having that space to think about what can I do now. Okay. Now it helped me move on to the next stop, or the next part. And then the other person that you need to forgive is really yourself. Because let's admit it, at that time you really thought that was the best thing to do. And so if you can show kindness to others, then show kindness to yourself. And just because you made a mistake doesn't mean you're a bad person. Just because you made a mistake doesn't mean you're not worthy of love. You're not worthy of receiving love or even giving love. You are worth it and you are enough, even if you make a lot of mistakes in this life. But don't make it a habit, okay? If you make it a habit, then that's your choice. And you choosing that with your own consciousness, that's what makes you, a bad person. But if you make a mistake and you get called out for it and you don't do it again, that's forgiveness. Okay, so learn how to forgive yourself as well. You got to be your own cheerleader. The second part of the paragraph is when Vishen said, hack your present with mindfulness. Okay, so what does that mean? When you are mindful, you become grounded in the present moment, and you're not thinking about your past or your future, and you're just here, you're just doing the thing that you need to do. And we got to understand that although the past did happen, the past doesn't exist anymore. And more importantly, the future doesn't exist anymore. Or the future doesn't really exist. Like, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. We don't even know how long we're going to live. Maybe some of us will die tomorrow. I pray not. But that's the reality. We will never know. When would our last day be? So if the past and the present is non-existent, you got to acknowledge that the only thing that matters is the present moment. And you can hack your present by enjoying your present through mindfulness. And how do we practice mindfulness? It's just simple as looking at the details that you see right now. So right now I'm creating a podcast episode. Hopefully this is a flow, an ease and flow kind of episode. But right now I'm just focused talking to you guys. I'm just focused talking to the microphone. I'm just focused on sharing my message to you guys. So that's the only thing that is in my mind and in my heart right now. Like, of course, earlier I was kind of situating with the past or maybe thinking about the future, but now I'm just here with how I breathe, with how I speak, with how I hear, with how I look. I'm just here talking to the camera and being grounded. And another practice that I want to share with you is actually a practice that I'm pushing all people to do. It's called meditation. So meditation for me is also a kind of prayer. Like prayer, like how we do the prayer is talking to God. Meditation is listening to Him. So the only way that we could calm ourselves and enjoy the present moment is through practicing meditation as well. Because when you meditate, you let your thoughts just pass through and you just allow yourself to be grounded and present because you're just focusing on your breath. Okay, so of course there's two types of meditation, and I'll talk about that in another episode. But what it does, it helps you become more present. And in the present moment, you have control over a lot of things. And so that's just what you need to focus on. I looked at some of my friends, they have bigger problems than me, but they're not really stressed, just like I am, as I was before. And I realized that they were just present. They were still trying to solve their problems, but they're really just grounded on the present moment. Whatever is happening is there. Okay? So I discovered mindfulness through discovery as well. And I've never missed a day without doing a meditation. I really feel bad. Like, for example, I wake up late and I haven't done my meditation. I know that my day is not going to be as good as it can be just because I missed my morning meditation. Because having that mindfulness around things not just only grounds you, but also allows you to prioritize yourself. Like what you control, what you want to do, what your priorities are, that's what's being, or that's what currently is happening when you're grounded and when you're mindful around things, right? So you really want to hack your present with mindfulness. Like make it more enjoyable. Because when you're mindful, you become more grateful. And when you're more grateful, life becomes so much more amazing. So hack your present with mindfulness. And lastly is hack your future with I am enough. Hack your future with enoughness. Knowing that whatever goal you have, it can only work if you believe that you deserve it. Okay, a lot of people are talking about law of attraction. Little did they know that the law of attraction is really 3 parts. Number 1 is whatever you have in your mind, think about it, and just overly think about it, because our thoughts are kind of like, releasing vibrations as well. So think about it more, and your words and your actions will be aligned to it. And then the second part, which is actually vibration and intention. So if you set your intention, you want to do this, then that's the only time that you'll actually get results, and you be clear with what you want. And then the second, a part of the second part is really vibration, and you'll only function in a high state manner where you are aligned with your goals if and only if you have the deservability in you, and you know and you believe with all your heart that you deserve it. Because if not, then you're always going to be scared of success. There's basically 2 major types of reasons for failing, or fear of failure, or fear of success. And fear of success is a lot more common than we think, right? I know a lot of people, and including me as well, a lot of the times that I experience the good stuff, the good life, I still sometimes go back to the point where I feel like, is this for me? Do I deserve this? Like, I made a lot of mistakes. I don't know if I deserve this, right? I remember we went to Spotify exclusive party, and my I am enough mindset is not showing up. I feel like, why am I here? I'm not in the level of these people. I'm not a celebrity, so I'm not enough is what is showing up for me. So I realized that if I really want to make my goals happen, then it got to start with me believing 100% that this is for me, right? Now I come into this mantra that what is for me is also looking for me. What wants me also want me. And so when you get to see that kind of perspective in your life, you know that nothing is really coincidence. Whatever is given to you, that's for you. Okay? What's for you will never miss you. Because what you want is also wanting you and finding you. You just really need to align yourself with who you really are. And who you are is that you're worthy, you're a person that is loved, and you are enough. So hack your future with I am enough. Right? Because if you believe in your heart that you are enough, then your mind will start thinking about it and your words will start aligning to it and your actions will lead you to that point when you can see that you are more than enough. So that's for it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Before you go, I would like to make a few announcements. In case you're still not aware, I am doing my weekly learning sessions for free every single Wednesday. It's called the Better Me Project. It's a group coaching session. Send me a message on Instagram to learn more about it, or go to bit.ly/the Better Me Group Coaching. Okay, so that's bit.ly/the Better Me Group Coaching. And I think the first letter of the first words or all of the words are capitalized. Okay, so bit.ly/capital B, capital T, right? The capital B, Better, capital M, Me, capital G, Group, capital C, Coaching. So yeah, I had a hard time doing that, but hopefully you get that point. And if you got confused, then just send me a message. And also you may be interested in learning more, not just how to get better with your personal finance, but also get better, not just get better with personal development, but also get better with personal finance, which is why for anyone who is listening to the podcast, I'm giving away free 1-hour financial investment coaching calls to you guys. So if you're interested in that, send me a message and I'll coach you around how can you get better when it comes to your finances. And so that is all for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. This is Alec Cuenca. This is Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact, now exclusively on Spotify, powered by Anchor. And I'll see you guys next episode. Peace.
The views and opinions expressed by the podcast creators, hosts, and guests do not necessarily reflect the official policy and position of Podcast Network Asia, the hosts of the program, or other programs of the network. Any content provided by the people on the podcast are of their own opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.